Namaskar and Om Namah Shivaya to all. Welcome to today's video on पूर्व पक्ष चैनल. प्लीज लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल. अगर ये चैनल चलेगा तो आपके सपोर्ट से ही चलेगा. आज का जो हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं, जो बातचीत हम करेंगे इस वीडियो के माध्यम से, वो करने से पहले मैं एक मेरी तरफ से एक रिप्लाई देना चाहता हूँ. जो अभी दिल्ली में प्रोटेस्ट हुआ, सो कॉल्ड लाल सलाम और मार्क्सिस्ट और लेनिस्ट और जो सब लोग जो दिल्ली में आए थे, जो बच्चे थे जिनका क्या फ्यूचर में होने वाला है उनको उनको खुद भी नहीं मालूम है. लेकिन मेरी तरफ से ये मेरा आंसर है उनके लिए. इफ यू कैन रीड दिस, प्लीज सी एट दिस. दिस इज माय सिंपल आंसर टू द लाल salam. This is exactly my answer is going to be to the lal salam. So yes, that was my point. So let's discuss something today about communism, Marxism in India. I want to go into complete details as I went in my last video for the terror networks and modules and their operating principles. Similarly, I'm going to do it same for the communism, Marxism propaganda or agenda or network, how they work and what's their working strategy is all about in India. Summary, I'll give it in short. There are two lines. One is line of Moscow and the other is the line of China line or the Naxalite line. Putting it all together, two lines, one damage. Moscow line, CPI Soviet, did mainly capture education, history, writing, media, unions, policy think tank, demonized Hindu civilization using labels like Manuvad, Jativad, Brahmanical, Purush Pradhan, locked economy into state control and slow growth, helped create an elite that distrusts Indian tradition, is soft and left movements, often hostile to unapologetic Hindu identity. The second line is China Maoist, Naxalist line, did mainly turn ideology into armed revolt, use caste, language, tribal, regional differences as weapon, tried to break India into many nationalities and liberated zones, killed thousands of soldiers and civilian tribals between state and Maoist, used the Moscow line dominated ecosystem, academia, NGO, some media as a partial seat or amplifier. Together from 1920s to 2025, these two factions created a mental colonization in school, universities, media, a physical insurgency in jungles and vulnerable districts. Both drawing from the same roots, Marxist, Leninist, Maoist war on India civilization continued. This is just a short summary that I have shown. This document again, as for last time, I'm going to upload this document. Whoever is interested can just go in the description and download this document. Nothing to worry about this document. I have done this document for my simplifications because I don't have to go into much text, so I can reduce it. So this is the summary of all lines. 1920 Bolshevik influence says 1925 CPI starts it. It's first in India. 1927 Nehru visits Soviet and hence facilitates Marxism. 1946 Telangana revolt. 1950 Soviet infiltration. 1962 China split. 1964 CPI splits into CPIM. Yeah, that is Maoist or Naxalite. 1967 Naxalbari first or second, you should say, Naxalite attack. 1969 Indira Gandhi, India for sale, Mitrokin archives. Complete Russian Soviet dominance was there in during 1969 until 1984. 1969 CPI-ML, 1970s Maoist splinters, 1980s PWG, 1984 MCC, 204 CPI Maoist merger. They got merged and they had a military wing from this period. 21 Hidma attacks. The same attackers whose these protesters were singing and Amar Rahe Shaheed, and I'll cover all this so-called Salam and my answer to the Lal Salam. More than 150 Jawan soldiers killed, civilians killed in multiple attacks. 2025 reduced corridor collapse, but urban Naxal ideology survives. This is the thing that Modi government should focus more on. These are the worst of the creatures. Nah? Then you will find this detailed summary again here. I have given through years what and what happened, who created and everything in details. You can go through it. I don't want to waste time on that. Let's move on forward. Yes. So let's come to the incidents that happened in Delhi. The incidents was mainly about the air pollution that has happened and raised certain level of their parameters, and that's the reason why people had gathered to protest against the pollution that is happening or the air degradation that is happening in Delhi. My point and answer to it again, this is not the first thing. Na? It's only because when BJP comes into the power, Every climate activist is going to be the road, dog activist is going to be the road, environmentalist is going to the road. I don't know, whoever are the activists, student activists, woke activists, LGBTQ activists. Every activist is suddenly active when BJP comes to the power. As if until in 10, 11 years when Kejriwal was ruling Delhi, the pollution in Delhi was not at all there. The luft or the air that they were breathing was so powerful, so purified, so strong, so ethical, so with oxygen, full of oxygen, I must say. Even more than what I live in Germany, it must be so. So that they were not facing any issue, and all of the sudden, all these youth gangs or students, I don't know, they don't even look students, they look some druggist, addict, some medical issues going on with this. Look at this lady girl, I don't know who the hell she is, but she looks like she's been on medication or she has done some sexual activities to an extent that she can't withstand herself with her eyes. And I don't know, they look in this way. That's the reason why I'm saying this. And I think they need some medication. They need some proper doctor therapy or something, psychological therapy, so that they can revive from this. But anyways, so you heard these two ladies, specifically this Rao Jot shit, who was saying that Khidma Amar Rahe, Lal Salama Amar Rahe, and some corridor should Amar Rahe. And I don't know, all of the sudden from air pollution, protest on air degradation, she went directly to something which has nothing to do with the protest. That was Lal Salam, Naxalite protest, support to Naxalism. I mean, how does this swift go from air pollution directly to Naxalite support? And we all know that in between Modi ji will definitely come, because no matter what happens in India, in the world nowadays, even we have heard Trump, everything happens, whatever happens in the world, its responsibility is on our dear Modi ji. Anyways, so let's move on further. I'll show you the videos as well. Before I want to go into the core principle and philosophy of these ideologies and how do they develop, how do they work, how they were basically brought into India, who helped, what role has many leaders played into it, and slowly I'll end it. So, okay. So, this shit, Ravjot, is from this Bhagat Singh Chhatra Ekta Morcha, BSCEM, and he, she, they eat pumpkin, watermelon. I don't know what this Kranti is, but she is from this Hemkund, and apparently, I don't want to go into these small kids. It makes no sense for me because they are of no use. They don't even know what they are doing. They must be some now with money or some energy. They must have been sent them just go and shout and do sloganism to show their youth, so-called weak Gen Z thing. But I don't want to waste my time on this. I'll just show you the videos and we will move to the next thing. Let me share. Chat.
थप्पड़ मारा है आई एम ट्रांस वुमन यहाँ पे मेल ऑफिसर ने मेरे को मैन हैंडल किया है क्या है इसकी ब्रांचेस मेरे मेरे घर पर मेरे घर पर मेरे फोटो वाला डिजीज हु आर दिस लीडर तो कहाँ गई वो औरत ये ट्रीटमेंट हम लोगों का हम एक ऑफिस के स्टूडेंट हैं इसको मारा जा रहा है
So she has problem with Maoist को मारा जा रहा है ना. I don't know what do she do. Must the government do then? I think they should also take her with them. So let's come back to the next one. God save this country. So basically, she doesn't want anything. Her agenda is very clear. She wants Maoist on road, slaughtering common people, civilians, soldiers, BSF, and that's the reason why she is shouting. I don't know what she is gone nut. maybe on drugs or something. I have no idea. But anyways, so let's. This was the shit that I want to show with the videos that's going on from the last 2 days. Let's move on. Before we go into the next step of understanding two lines and their ideologies and how it, as I mentioned in my last video as well, in India, everyone is together. Maoists, Naxalite, terrorists, left, everyone has one simple agenda that is to destroy our Hinduism, our traditions. Hindus is their clear driven agenda. We should not make any mistake in understanding this. This is fixed and to the point. So let's see her. She was very much, I don't know, she was so fond of Hidma and his life, and she wants to fight. In Basta, they have done something big. That's what she was trying to show. Let's see what has Hidma done and expose him. Na? So I'll show you the training pipeline, Naxalite Hidma, full life cycle, birth, childhood, recruitment, training, commander. This is this Trek Sigma Hidma or Shitma. We should call him Shitma. Na? Shitma looks like. So this is then Shit Hidma Shitma. And this is the number of people he has killed. I have given you the complete table. You can go through it. In this, we can see in 2010 he killed 76 people. 2013 he killed 27, 28 people. 2017 he killed 25. 18, 9. 21, 22. Multiple deaths over 22 years, 200 plus. And this not include only includes civilians, but it includes BSF, politicians, army, soldiers, policemen, everyone. The person who has killed common civilians, the person who has killed soldiers who save and protect the country, the person who has killed the police who maintains law and order, the police who have killed unnecessary civilians who have nothing to do with their agenda and any sort of stuff is being celebrated and shown as a hero in Delhi by some weird activists, those who have banged on the road and though they want to break the law and order situation in Delhi. This is exactly what they are trying to do, nothing else. So let's see. His from his birth till end what he has done. He is no more. He was shot down in 20 in this year. I don't have this, I don't have that, I didn't have road, मेरे पास ये नहीं था, मेरे खाने को नहीं था, मैं तो टॉर्च मेनबत्ती के लाइट में देखकर पढ़ाई कर रहा था. So what? Does that give you a license to take a gun in your hand and start killing civilians? Start killing soldiers? Start killing policemen and politicians? Is that how are you going to do? And that's not a government or common public society's support. We can even understand when two societies fight, which we will have to fight in future. That's for sure. Hindus are not running anywhere if they don't fight. They will convert. Anyways, let's not go there. But this is not something of that kind. This is particularly driven people by some machineries, states, agendas, propagandas, so that they bring in harm to our country. Nothing else. This is how exactly that is planned. Family depends on foreign produced daily wages. Villagers face harassment by contractor, police threat, forest department. Stage 2. First contact, age 6 to 12. Maoists enter village offering protections. Songs and dance teams glorify Maoist martyrs. Child see Maoists as powerful, respected, fearless. Maoists offer food, gifts, storage, belongings. Stage 3. Bal Sangam, child recruit fund. They have this. Can you believe it? They have Bal Sangam, child recruitment fund in Naxalite propaganda when they train their students, children, recruited people. I don't know what the rest of the Hindus are doing. Bal Sangam, Maoist Children Unit, duties, messenger, career, informant, brainwashing, state is enemy, police kills tribals. Start learning ideology, Marx, Lenin, Mao. Learns jungle navigation. Stage 4, young militia, local villager armed wing. Age 13 to 17. Given traditional weapon, bow arrow axe. Duties, lookout, food, carrier, trench digger. Practice small ambush drills. Learns to identify police movements. Stage 5. PLGA basic training. PLGA, People's Liberation Guerrilla Army, wing of CPI Maoist. So basically, Hidma was the armed wing of CPI Maoist who got training in People's Liberation Guerrilla Army to kill civilians, soldiers, policemen, politicians, loot people. This was his basically task. And how can he be a youth leader, influencer for the shit supporter? I don't understand. Anyways, rifle training, SLR, ISAS, AK series. ID training, pressure mines, road bombs. Jungle warfare, still survival, signaling, political school, history of Mao, Churu Mujumdar, indoctrination, revolution, family, tribe, life, etc. Stage 6, PLGA Guerrilla Squad, execute attack on police patrols, conduct night movements, ambush setups, learn advanced tactics for senior commanders, tested for discipline, violence, secrecy. Stage 7, area committee member, controls multiple villages, collect levy, extortions, extortion, he collects extortion and he is the role model for that shit team. Doesn't make sense. Executes suspected informers, trains new recruiters, oversees parallel Janta Sarkar, people's government. Yeah, people's government by looting people, by killing people. Yeah, right. Stage 8, PLGA battalion commander example, Hidma. Commands 100 to 150 guerrillas. Design large ambushes, Dantawadi 2010, Jiram 2013, Sukma 2021. Killing more than, in this incident itself, in 3 incidents, he has killed more than 150 people. Expert in terrain warfare, control weapons, cache and training camps, because most feared Mao's battlefield command. Let's move on to the next one. So let's move on to the ideological part. So initially we discussed there are two lines, and we will see how these two lines got developed in India. What was their task? What did they do? How did they carry the ideological agenda, narrative, propagandas, and on which thing do they still have hold? Okay. So I'll give you the full chronology with dates later. Now we'll just go through it. So in 1920, Tuscan Group started beginning. A leader, Monabendra Nath Roy, M.N. Roy, supported by Comintern Communist International Moscow, goal import Bolshevik ideology into India. Now, what is Bolshevik ideology? I'll give short, tell you in short. So Bolshevik was something just against Tsar. So in the World War, after the World War, the Tsar were killed. Like complete Tsar were killed, and there was a lot of looting, killing, massive destructions, and everything that happened in Soviet in that period or King's period. So that was called basically Bolshevik ideology. So they wanted to import this Bolshevik ideology into India under the namesake to destroy British. But did they do it actually? That is the question to be asked. 1925, founding of Communist Party of India (CPI). Date 26 December 1925, Kanpur. Leader S.S. Dange, Satya Bhakta, Muzaffar Ahmad, S.V. Ghate. Model Soviet-style mechanism Leninism. Aim workers and peasants republic. 1925-47, pre-independence built up. Capture of AITUC, All India Trade Union Congress. This is exactly what do they do. Marxists, Soviets, Lenin supporter, Mao supporter. What is they do is that they capture the trade unions. Out of curiosity, I'll tell you what was done in Mumbai itself. So in Mumbai, there were a lot many trade unions. So Congress wouldn't have been able to win the election there. So later on, there was a party that was formed, which was basically a part of Congress initially, and it's now called actually Shiv Sena. Anyways, let's move on. So class war propaganda, anti-Hindu labels, Manuvati, Jatuvati, feudal Hindu orders, underground cells in Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. I already informed you. Bombay was a hub. So 1947 to 64, Nehru era, institutional entry, PM Jawaharlal Nehru, Fabian Socialist USSR admirer, 5 years plan and planning commission Soviet model, universities DU, CU, after later JNU, inspired by Marxist teachers, growth of trade unions in public sector. Let's move on to the next. 64, CPI split, CPI Soviet line versus CPI Maoist line, that is Naxalite line. So CPI remains Moscow aligned. Parliamentary participation continues. CPIM becomes harder left but still institutionally placed. Support the agenda, the platform where this both CPIM or CPI India or Moscow line have the same Marxism ideology. It's not changed, but one has become more aggressive, and the left is carrying hold on the traditional educational media, all the sectors. Let's move on. 1969-84, Indira Gandhi alliance with communists. Indira Gandhi splits Congress alliance with CPI, CPM. State body packed with Marxist scholars, NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training, Indian Council of Historical Research, Indian Council of Social Science Research. Textbooks written with Marxist links. 70s to 2000, complete left intellectual hold. Universities dominated by Marxist facilities. Bollywood writers Kafi Azmi, Sudhir Ludhianvi push socialist ideology. Media adopts left progressive framing. Bureaucracy shaped by leftist campus culture. This Kafi Azmi, Sudhir Ludhianvi, and even that Javed, Akhtar and all, this all are same gang. Do not fall prey for if once they say something good about India or they take a stand for in parliament with respect to India. Doesn't mean they are pro-India. They are hardcore Islamist communists. You have to understand this. Never, as I last time as well I've said, if there is a snake in the room, believe on that snake. Except if there is a hint. Else, doesn't matter whoever it is. You have to always believe on snake. 2002, 2025. Legacy continues. CPI weak electorally, but strong ideologically. IAS, IPS, IFS officers shaped by left academia. Media narrative returns anti-Hindu, anti-market biases. NGOs amplify masculine vocabulary. Post 2000 pushback, saffronization, panic by entrenched left. These are the terms. The Marxists or the Maoists or the Leninists or the communists are very good in naming certain things. All this, the reason why I'm mentioning these words, all this vocabulary has been termed or coined by the Marxists. You have to understand it. Never forget this. One among them is saffronization. Let's move to the second line, that is China Maoist Naxalite line. Uh, Let's go. Root Maoism from China. Influence Mao Zedong, Chinese Communist Party, CPC. Protected peoples for guerrilla revolution. Target rural, poor, tribal, oppressed caste. Namesake. This is the agenda. Actually, they run more in rich people, but anyways, I don't want to go into that. So 1960s, 1964, often forgotten, EMS, number three path, many nationalists. Now, before we go into more, I'll just tell you this. This Namodri path wanted to divide India into 25 states based on languages. So this is not something new ideology that you heard from the students, from Naxalites, or from, I don't know, from Gen Zs or some university campus protest or something. No, this ideology has been trained by this CPIMM members from 64. This is something not new. You have to, that's the reason why I'm going through the history details. If we don't understand the historical analysis or details of the thing that we are fighting against, you cannot fight with it. You have to understand it first before we have to go and fight with it. Doesn't matter wherever. Is it social media or is it on the street? So leader EMS Namodra Pradesh CPI to CPIMM, he was the first. Thesis, India is not one nation. It is many nations. This is exactly what I explained to you now. Implication, each nationality can demand independence. Result, seeds of linguistic regional fragmentation. 1967, immediately after he takes it to the Maoist zone, 67 we have a huge Naxalbar uprising, British birth of Maoism in India. This is exactly Naxalite. So place West Bengal, Naxalbari. Leader Charu Mujumdar, Kanu Sanyal, Jungle Santhal. Action, peasant revolt, police firing, nationwide radicalization. So this is like a wolf hiding in a sheep. These actions what they always show that we were गरीब थे, हमारे पास खाने को नहीं थे, हम पे अत्याचार हुए, पुलिस ने मारा, इसने मार दिया, सोल्जर्स ने रेप किया, इसने वो कर दिया, मेरे पे ब्राह्मण्स ने रेप किया, उन्होंने हमको पाने. These are all nothing but agendas and victimhoods. That's the reason why I said like it's like a wolf fighting in his cheap clothes. China prays absolutely. China prays uprising, spring thunder over India. 69 formation of CPI-ML, Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist. General Secretary Charu Mujumdar. Line annihilation of class enemies, targeted killings, strategic guerrilla warfare, rural base areas. Next, 70s, 90s, spread of Maoist faction across India. People's War Group, PVG, Andhra Telangana. Maoist Communist Center, MCC, Bihar, Jharkhand. Tactics, ambushes, extortion, recruitment, Jan Adalat. So there will be a Jan Adalat. Maoists with 10-15 groups will be there. The village will be forced to assemble in a place, and whoever they want to kill, they'll just kill him there or extort money from him. This is exactly what it refers to Jan Adalats in their terms. For example, 204 merger into CPI Maoist, PWG plus MCC merger CPI Maoist. General Secretary Mupalla Lakshmana Rao Ganapati. Arm Wing PLGA, People's Liberation Guerrilla Army. 2004-2025. Maoist insurgency, region Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Maharashtra, Andhra, Telangana. Major attacks, Dattewadi, 76 CRPF jawans killed, 13 Jairam Valley, Congress leader killed. Sukma 2021, Bijapur ambush 22 Jawan kills, tactics, IDs, sniping, jungle warfare. Urban Maoism, the intellectual cover spread via certain campuses, NGOs, media circle. This is exactly what we saw in Delhi. Some students will gather at some place in Delhi. They'll hide under the cover of some pollution, air pollution, but their original face is they want to protest for a Naxalite who have killed innocents, who have killed army soldiers, who have killed policemen. Never to forget it. Narratives: Brahmanical state, Hindu fascism, tribal resistance, role, legacy defense, ideological justification, propaganda. So final impact of China Maoist line, that is armed rebellion plus identity based fracture, caste tribal. This is the summary. This is exactly, no matter how much X, Y, Z and mathematics you will do, ultimate summary of what they are doing is this: from 67, from 64 until now. That is armed rebellion plus identity based fracture, caste, tribal, language division exploited, thousands of security forces and civilian killed, tribal regions caught between Maoist and state, fragmentation doctrine continues in political social spaces. Period. Now let's come back to our blunder boy, the name given by Sri Sanjay Dixit sir from Jaipur Dialogue. So I'm using this name as Nehru's role in spreading Marxism as blunder boy because the reason why I went into detail of this subject as well, including Nehru's role, is very important because he was the first prime minister of India. He almost was 2 3 terms, I guess. Then came his daughter. She also had almost like 2 3 terms. And in this whole complete from 47 until 84, 90s, until Rajiv Gandhi was there, almost 40 years, the grounds that they built for spreading of Marxism, Leninist thought, Maoist thought, and the divisions that got created into the society the responsibility goes mostly to Jawaharlal Nehru, the blunder boy of India, so-called India. I don't want to sound rude, but it should be Bharat, not India, anyways. So where does it actually start? So in 1927, Nehru visits USSR, that is Soviet, na? Nehru visits and get indoctrinated by Soviet equality propaganda ideologies. I'm not saying this, this is the reality. You can find it. I'm anyways going to give references in the bottom, you can go through it. Nehru visits and get indoctrinated by Soviet equality propaganda ideologies. Strong ideological impact. British intelligence suspicious. Increased surveillance. क्योंकि क्या हुआ जब ये गया, ये विजिट करके वापस आया इंडिया में, तो ब्रिटिशर्स को ऑलरेडी सस्पेशन हो गया था इस पे, जवाहरलाल नेहरू पे. So they started detaining him. They also jailed him. They started increased his surveillance. उस पे बहुत ही पुलिस वाले छोड़ दिए थे to check his activities, what he's doing. And then Motilal Nehru, his father, writes a begging leniency letter to the Britishers, to the police, and to the Queen to leave his child. So when they say that Savarkar and Savarkar ran and he was begging for मुझे माफ कर दो मैं ऐसे नहीं करूंगा वैसे नहीं करूंगा, in comparison to that, Jawaharlal Nehru has written more apology letters than, and you have to understand the difference between an apology letter and a letter written by a person who is already into the jail for something who has done against British, and that too into armed revolution, not like Motilal Nehru, who just went and visited some ideology which they knew is not good if they have to rule India. Understand the basics. Next, Nehru returns to India with deep Marxist socialist tilt. Facilitation of left-leaning ecosystem begins. This is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. तो कम्युनिज्म, मार्क्सिज्म, लेनिस्ट आइडियोलॉजीज फैलाने में सबसे बड़ा हाथ अगर किसी का था, तो इट वाज नन अदर देन श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू, द ब्लंडर बॉय ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है. प्रमोशन ऑफ मार्क्सिस्ट थिंकर, प्रमोशन ऑफ फेबियन, ब्रिटिश सोशलिस्ट इंटेलेक्चुअल्स. ये तो गूगल कर लीजिए, गूगल पे मिल जाएगा, कांग्रेस का नाम भी है अभी तो. Promotion of socialist economists in planning commissions, support for left-wing historians, writer, academics, encouragement of trade unions with Marxist ideology, spread of equality in class caste struggle messaging, entry of Marxist idea into Congress youth and student wing, acceptance of Soviet-style central planning. Next, Indian institution shifts leftward. देखा, इसके वजह से वो shift होगा leftwards. Softness toward communist China begins. Fake Asian brotherhood idea. Believe China is anti-imperialistic है. Blind trust in Hindi Chini bhai bhai. No suspicion of PLA expansion. Okay, next. Diplomatic decision favorable to China. India recognizes Communist Party early. Nehru pushes for China's UN Security Council seat. Publicly defends China internationally. Helps CPC and Chinese army to conquer Tibet. आपको मालूम नहीं रहेगा तो इसलिए मैं सिर्फ बता दे रहा हूँ. India has supplied rice and eating essentials to China when they were fighting against Tibet to capture Tibet. And then that's the reason why we have the biggest issue going on against China is mainly because of that region. One should never forget that. China invades Tibet. Exactly nice. Nehru's response, critical strategy error, no diplomatic resistance, except China's authority over Tibet. Scale down India's intelligence in Tibet. Hands Tibet to China without any counter strategy. ये है श्री श्री जवाहरलाल नेहरू इंडिया के मेरे तरफ से 3 ट्रिपल कोट्स में श्री 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 जवाहरलाल नेहरू ना. Isn't it? Consequences: India loses civilizational buffer. China now sits directly on India's border. PLA secretly builds road in Aksai Chin. Nehru was saying that they would be able to make road in Aksai Chin. ये कहाँ पे जाएंगे और कैसे रोड बनाएंगे इतने पहाड़ बंजर है. I don't know, maybe his father or his mother owns that area. I have no idea. I'm just asking. Might be you people know it. Just let me know. बट मुझे लगता है कि उसके या माँ या बाप या उसका परदादा और या कन्वर्ट हुआ जो कोई रहेगा अ, वो ओन करते थे वो जमीन. बाप का जाने वाला था कि ही सेड दैट इट डजंट grow anything in that area. So let the anyways come. Let's not waste time on Jawaharlal Nehru. People know anyways a lot about him. PLA secretly builds road in Aksai Chin. Nehru dismisses warning, shut down frontier intel. China attacks India. India unprepared defeat. Western and British. India was not actually unprepared, but there were some decisions taken by the military here. I think that is also Tapar. And then Nehru together made some blunder decisions, and that was the reason. At that time, India had airplanes, I mean fighter jets, but Nehru on purpose did not allow fighter jets to attack China. China at that moment had no air supplies. Absolutely not. Next. वेस्टर्न एंड ब्रिटिश परसेप्शन नेहरू इज इक्वल टू सोवियत लीनिंग. सबसे बड़ी गम्मत ये है गांधी जी का नेम वाज सेंट फॉर नोबेल पीस प्राइज फॉर 4 to 5. He did not get it. Nehru's name was sent for Nobel Peace Prize for 2-3 times. He did not get it. And then Nehru writes, I don't know why is Britishers against me when I have been towing their line as they have asked me in India. It's laughable. I mean, Nehru's Nobel Peace Prize Committee does not award it. Next, final outcome. Root summary. Soviet influence shaped Nehru's ideology. Nehru shaped India's leftward institutional bias. China benefited diplomatically and strategically. Tibet was lost. He was unprepared in 62. Western distrust cost him the Nobel. He did not never get got a Nobel. Anyways, next. So यहाँ पे मैं अभी जो तो अब तक हमने जो देखा उसके परिप्रेक्ष्य में हमने क्या क्या देखा है ये समझ लीजिए कि 2 लाइंस चालू होती है. एक है जो मॉस्को लाइन है, एक है जो चाइना लाइन है. मॉस्को लाइन है जो ट्रेडिशनल लाइन है. चाइना लाइन है ये नक्सलाइट आर्म माओइस्ट लाइन है. हमारे जो ब्लंडर करने वाले जो नेहरू थे उन्होंने सबसे बड़ा ब्लंडर किया है स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 27 अंटिल राजीव गांधी डाइड, दैट इज अंटिल 90s. तब तक जितनी भी कुछ वाट लगनी थी उनके तरफ से via Marxism, Leninism, communism, ideologies, propagandas, Manuvadi, पुरुष प्रधान everything, all this namesake, ये सब वाट लग चुकी थी. This is the reality. Now we will move on to the next thing. This is mainly based to the weapon pipeline flow diagram, where I will be explaining you कि weapon supplies कैसे होते हैं. Role China, Pakistan, इनसाइड इंडिया, नक्सलाइट्स कैसे नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इसमें कैसे वर्क होता है. दिस इज स्मॉल थिंग आई विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग यू नाउ. ओके, लेट्स मूव ऑन. सो ओरिजिन ऑफ वेपन्स इन इंडिया, मेन सोर्स लूटिंग फ्रॉम पुलिस एंड सीआरपीएफ. ये इनिशियली था शुरू शुरू में जब तक चाइना का पूरा होल्ड नहीं बन चुका था. तो तब तक जो होता था तो इस प्रकार से होता था. लूटिंग फ्रॉम पुलिस एंड सीआरपीएफ, सेंट्रल रिजर्व पुलिस फोर्स. लूटिंग फ्रॉम स्टेट पुलिस आर्मी रेस. Result INSAS rifle, AK series, SLR, LMG ammunition. Black market and criminal intermediaries. Armed brokers from Bihar, Jharkhand, UP. Criminal syndicate divert legal weapons. Illegal gun factories in Munjur, Bihar. Result AK type rifles, handgun, desi local rifles, kattas, basically. Northeast Weapon Corridor keychain. This is very important. CN, National Socialist Council of Nagala. ULFA, United Liberation. In my previous videos, I have given a proper table. I have mentioned complete details of this organization or so-called Marxist funds fundamentals carrying in India. You can go through the last video where I have covered this. The video's name is mostly it's related to it's related to terror activities. So these groups sell weapons to Naxals. Result: Chinese made rifles, ammo, mortars, radios. China, Myanmar, Bangladesh armed brokers. Yunnan, China, Myanmar, any insurgent Naxals. Khas Bazar and Chitwan black markets in Bangladesh. Arm moved via forest corridors. So result: Chinese origin CQ's series rifle, heavy ammo, communication equipments. Local manufacturing by Naxals. Jungle workshop in Dandakaranya, manufacturing EIDs, improvised explosive devices, pressure mines, country-made rifle and pistol kattas, crude rockets and launcher or bombs, resulting large infrastructure attacks, ambush mines, road bombs. Next, China's phase influence model full form. फ्रॉम आइडियोलॉजी वेपन्स नेटवर्क मैंने ये कलर भी जानबूझ के रेड रखा है क्योंकि लाल सलाम है ना और मेरा ब्लैक सलाम रिस्पॉन्स है उनको लाल सलाम के लिए मेरी तरफ से ब्लैक रिस्पॉन्स और ब्लैक सलाम ना फेज वन 1950s to 1960 ideological export Mao Zedong People's War inspires Indian radicals Chinese Communist Party publishes revolutionary materials Radio Beijing People's Daily Praise Anti-Indian Revolutionary Movement. This is complete hand. This is exactly what I'm trying to prove you. This is complete hand of China getting involved in uh, intriguing people in our side and making or ideologically brainwashing them to fight against it, to fight against people, to fight against people on basis of language, to fight against people on basis of caste, creed, religion, thinking ideology, everything. Then phase two, 67 to 75, moral support to Naxalism, Naxal Bari uprising praised as spring thunder over India. Indian Maoist leader take guidance from Maoist writing. CPI-ML, Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist from 1969. Phase 3, 80s to 25, weapon ecosystem indirect. So PLA, China, Myanmar, any insurgent, CPI, Maoist. So this is nothing but the flow, like how they can cultivate, activate, send, get weapons via routes. So this is basically the routes what I'm trying to show you from. Okay. Northeast insurgent groups, I have already explained. Then the PLA Manipur's people, just for people's information, I want to just tell you while doing research, I found very something interesting. Manipur Hindu जो लोग है वो actually pro China है और जो मणिपुरी क्रिश्चियन जो लोग हम मार रहे हैं मणिपुरी हिंदूज को वो एक्चुअली प्रो इंडिया है रीजन बीइंग कि नेहरू के समय में जो कुछ नेहरू ने किया था हिंदूज के समय नॉर्थ ईस्ट में दे गॉट लिविड एंड पिस्ड ऑफ विद दिस पीपल विद द गवर्नमेंट एंड उसके वजह से दे एंटी स्टेट हो गए नाउ वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस आइडियोलॉजी दे आर नॉट डूइंग इट ऑन पर्पस आज मोदी जी आए हैं तो सिचुएशंस बदल रहे हैं स्टिल वी आर सफरिंग अ लॉट इन मणिपुर आई डिड नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड दैट एक्चुअली मेरे को लगा था कि उनको भी वो आर्म्स देना चाहिए था सो दैट दे कुड हैव सेटल्ड आउट इट ऑफ देयर ओन हमें कुछ जरूरत नहीं थी कुकीज को प्रोटेक्ट या कुछ करने की या उनको मारने की मणिपुरीज वुड हैव टर्न इट ऑफ देयर ओन बिकॉज दे आर ट्रेन इन इट दे नो हाउ टू डू इट एनीवेज लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट this group sells Chinese weapons to Maoists. China keeps plausible deniability. Next, phase 4, 2000 to information and narrative wars. China state media pushes anti-India, anti-establishment narratives. China digital platform influences your TikTok, pre-ban clones apps. Everywhere there is Chinese presence in India. Most of the big YouTubers, media channels go to China, visit there. They get money. Some white girls. The girl has to be white because that is a problem. शादी करनी है तो लड़की कैसी होनी चाहिए गोरी और सुंदर होनी चाहिए and I don't know what do they mean by gori anyways let's not go into it amplifies global Marxist messages and anti-state rhetorics strengthens the ideological environment for Maoist sympathy left Congress CPI CPIM influence structure उनका भी स्ट्रक्चर रहेगा तो कांग्रेस का तो मैंने ऑलरेडी बता दिया तो लेफ्ट का भी पूरा पूरा स्ट्रक्चर ही समझ लेते हैं इन टोटलिटी हाउ इंस्टीट्यूशनल लेफ्ट इकोसिस्टम formed in India. Political parties, CPI, Communist Party of India, Soviet Alliance, CPI, Maoist, hardcore. Congress used socialist policies allies with CPI in 70s, 80s. It started actually from 27 itself. Anyways, next. Level 2 ideological production, Marxist student dominates ICHR, Indian Council of Historical Research, Marxist social scientist dominates ICSSR, काउंसिल ऑफ एजुकेशनल एंड ट्रेनिंग टेक्स्ट बुक, ये सभी डोमिनेट ही करती है। इस पे सबसे ज्यादा काम तो ऑलरेडी नीरज अत्री साहब कर चुके हैं, तो आई शुडंट बी गोइंग एंड डिस्कसिंग मच अबाउट books and stuff. That's not my genre as well. But my genre is more into showing you how this structurally flows. That is my main agenda. That you have to understand this basic. कि इनका बेस कहाँ से है, किसने क्या क्या किया है। और हम जो बात बात मिनट में जो वी गेट वेरी सेंटिमेंटल इमोशनल, और ये तो सिर्फ पैसे के लिए करते हैं, या ये कुछ ऐसा नहीं करता, ये इसको सपोर्ट, ये नहीं करना चाहिए। वी हैव टू स्टे टुगेदर। हम डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते हम हमारे बीच में। अगर वी गेट डिवाइडेड, इट वोंट वर्क, इट विल कोलैप्स, टू बी ऑनेस्ट। उनका देखो, उनका सिस्टम देखो, उनका यूनिटी देखो, उनका मोटिव देखो। इससे सीखना चाहिए हमें भी, हिंदू समाज को। वी कांट बी जस्ट सिटिंग इडियट्स आइडल एंड सेइंग ओके वो तो ऐसे ही है, वो तो ऐसे ही, वो तो ऐसे ही करने वाले हैं, हमने तो इट डजंट वर्क। यू हैव टू some other way bring in Shatrubodh and fight. Fight can be ideological fight as well. You don't have to take weapons and fight. Level 3, Universities and Student Wing, JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Left Stronghold, SFI, Student Federation of India, Student Wing, AISF, All Indian Student Federation, CPI Student Wing, DSF, AISA, and other with Marxist influences. Labor unions, All India Trade Union Congress, CPI, AITUC, it's the one of the biggest, I think. CITO, Center of Indian Trade, CPIM, influence over public sector, education sector, banking unions. Media and culture. Left writer dominates Bollywood scripts that we know, 50s, ये सभी, ये जावेद, परवेद, और जितने भी गाने, अमिताभ बच्चन and all this shit actors whatever we had, these were all driven by communist ideologies. पूरा पूरा, including pieces written by them or acted in the movies, even the songs, even their dialogues, everything. Then opinion column by Marxist thinkers, NGO promote Marxist right-based narratives, campus radicalization flow diagram. Now, this is very important that I want to show that how does campus radicalization occurs or happens. This is step by step. That's the reason why I'm showing you. Beach peer details. I don't want to go into the beach details. I want to show you the structure. कि कहाँ से चालू हुआ, क्या क्या कैसे कैसे होता गया है, अभी तक क्या है, और इनकी आइडियोलॉजी कैसी है. This is exactly what I'm trying to tell you through this video. So, urban Naxal sympathizers. Entry, student level, home, joins university, encounter left student groups, SFI, AISF, AISA, DSU, Democratic Student Union. Okay, this is something similar to DCU that we have in India, Democratic Christian Union. Sorry, CDU. Also, DCU is there. First it was DCU and then it happened to CDU. Step 2, ideological priming. Intro to class struggle, capitalism critics, discussion on caste injustice, tribal exploitation, introduction to Mao Lenin, Che Guevara, narratives India's Brahminical fascist capital states. Step 3, activism stage. Participate in protests, write pamphlets, join case study circles, begins getting close to radical thinkers and NGOs. Step 4, extreme radicalization. Join underground reading groups, justifies Maoist violence as people's war. This is exactly what she was, the girl in the, she is at this stage. ये जो मैं बता रहा हूँ कि यूनिवर्सिटी में जो रेडिकलाइजेशन प्रोसेस स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैसे होते हैं, तो जो लड़की जो आज दिल्ली में है, जो नवजोत और जो दूसरी थी क्रांति और व्हाटएवर fuck this shit name are there, I don't care. So at which stage they are basically at this stage justifying Maoist violence as people's war. This is exactly what she is requesting for. She wants to do across India what they did in Bastar, killing civilians, killing soldiers, killing BSF, killing military, killing police, looting people, doing extortion, raping women, doing anti-India stands. This is exactly what that ladies or girls or students or whatever shit they were doing at the Delhi group were trying to enact. Nothing else. Believes democracy is Burgur Sham. Burgur Sham. Burg. Burgism Sham, okay. May be recruited for urban logistic networks. Step 5. Urban Naxal Support Networks, OGWs. OGW is equal to overground workers. duties, propagandas, legal support, fund routing, messaging, and media amplifications, students recruitment. ये देख रहे हो? This is the structure. This is the structure they work through. This is how their planning works. This is how they are deep into working with a principle. हिंदू कहाँ भी नहीं है. We are not even at the basic core. We can't fight with no structure, with no core, with हम इसमें सब में एक प्रकार का प्रत्येक जन ऐसे क्या बोलते हैं, I don't know how to say it in Hindi, but in Marathi it's called we are the best. I know everything of everything. मुझे सबका सब कुछ मालूम है. मैं अगर बोलता हूँ और अगर तूने नहीं किया तो आई वुड स्टॉप फॉलोइंग यू, आई वोंट सपोर्ट यू, आई वोंट शेयर. क्यों भाई? कौन सा बड़ा तीर मारने वाले हैं हम if we don't have a structure? Duties, propaganda, legal support, fund routing, messaging and media amplification, student recruitment. Now this is how Naxal propaganda tricks youth. 12 backgrounds. May her I have been saying this not now, last 1.5 years on Twitter, and before also whenever I have went to many discussion groups and all everywhere wherever I discuss. आप लोगों को अगर इस्लामिज्म, माओविज्म, मार्क्सिज्म, जितने भी इज्म है इसको हराना है तो फर्स्ट आपको साइकोलॉजिकल एनालिसिस करना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द साइकी ऑफ दिस पीपल, हाउ देयर साइकोलॉजी वर्क्स. मैं जैसे बोलता हूँ कि जैसे जो लोग इंडिया में आज जो मुस्लिम्स है जो कन्वर्ट हुए, whenever, I don't care, whenever they got converted, वो कन्वर्जन का इंपॉर्टेंट रीजन क्या था? इट वाज फियर. दे वर अफ्रेड. वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. सो आप उनको घर वापस कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा. सम अप्रोक्सीमेटली अगर यही सिचुएशन 20-30 साल के बाद रिपीट होता है, दे विल अगेन कन्वर्ट बैक टू दैट फेथ. हमें फियर, देयर हैज टू बी फियर. फियर एनालॉजी जो वर्क होता है उससे सिर्फ फियर नहीं होता, उससे स्ट्रेंथ भी मिलता है. ये हमें समझना पड़ेगा. This is exactly what my point is. Let's move on. Target the confused and emotional, newly admitted student, anger youth, or identify confused teens, feeling lonely, unheard, anti-system, or socially alienated. Perfect soil for ideological planting. Create victimhood identity. Narrative youth are oppressed. System hates you. India is Brahminical, capitalist, fascist state. Every personal frustration is politicized. Politicalized, deconstruct family culture and tradition, attack Hindu customs as Manuwadi, feudal, superstitious, break youth away from cultural roots, remove emotional protection easier to radicalize, introduce savior narratives, present Maoists as protectors of the poor and tribals, romanticize violence, evolution. This is exactly what the lady was trying to do. Romanticize violence. Revolution is equal to justice. No, it's not. That's what they did in Bangladesh. It's completely over. That's what they did in Nepal. Now इनको पैसा जितना मिलेगा कंस्ट्रक्ट करने में, इसमें बहुत सारे लोग ऑलरेडी कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे. ऑलरेडी बहुत सारे लोग एथियस्ट हो जाएंगे नेपाल में. यू विल सी इट इन नेक्स्ट 5 to 10 15 years. They take this in return down. 10-15 साल बाद नेपाल के लोग ज्यादा एंटी हिंदू रहेंगे, ज्यादा एथियस्ट हो जाएंगे और ज्यादा क्रिश्चियनिज्म में जाएंगे. आप देख लेना. Build moral superiority. You are fighting for humanity. Glorify Maoists, martyrs, and heroes. Posters, poetry, plays, street theater. Campus group. Student Federation of India. ये मैंने बोल दिया ऑलरेडी ये सब ग्रुप्स. Flood the minds with selective operation content. Show only state exercises, tribal suffering, police mistakes. Hide Naxal killing, IED attacks, extortion. Use film, comics, fake documents, manipulate data. Create us versus them mentality. Them is equal to Indian state, army, police, Hindu institution. Us is equal to revolutionary activities, left thinkers. Division create total loyalty to groups. Normalize Maoist violence as self-defense. They are not terrorists. They are resisting. Police kill tribals first. Maoists only respond. Makes brutality morally acceptable. Create parallel academic justification. Professors use pseudo research to legitimize Maoism. Journalism, seminars, conferences funded by NGO networks, converts ideology into intellectual truth, offers exclusivity and purpose. You are part of an elite revolutionary group. Normal people don't understand the struggle. Gives youth emotional validation and identity. Build hate against Indian Institute. Mock army, CRPF, Central Reserve Police Force. Mock Hindu festivals as regressive. Mock democracy as sham. Goal break trust in Indian civilization pillars. And final, stage turns students into overground workers, cadres, Responsibilities: raise front, spread propaganda on campus, pass information, hide fugitives. Are you looking at this? This is such a risky thing. When our young students get brainwashed with such ideologies and agendas and narratives, we should be very, very careful, and we should be fighting with full strength, including the state. इनको पकड़ो, इनको पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तो इनको वहां से निकाल दो, put them in jail or make them suffer at least for 5-7 years so that they will think of repeating this thing 10,000 times before they do this again. This is, they have to be punished for this. Coordinate logistic for Maoist field units. Some eventually join jungle ranks. Okay. So basically, the last section we are going at now, that is urban Naxal ecosystem map. Now, this will be my last point where I'll discuss to you how the urban Naxal ecosystem map works. इसके आगे I won't go much. I will upload the documents. There is more details. You can definitely go through it. Link पसंद है जिसको कनेक्ट करना, रीड करना या उस पर थिंक करना पसंद है, आई विल डेफिनेटली ऐड दिस डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर यू इनटू द डिस्क्रिप्शन. यू कैन गो थ्रू इट, डाउनलोड इट एंड रीड इट. बट मुझे जो कवर करना था और जिस पॉइंट पे आपने जो दिल्ली का प्रोटेस्ट देखा, जिस पे वो जो 50-20 स्टूडेंट्स जो थे उनकी जो मेंटेलिटी थी वो किस लेवल पे थी, ये मैंने इसमें कवर कर दी है. आपको ये ध्यान से समझना पड़ेगा, आपको इस पे विचार करना पड़ेगा, और हमें ऐसी एक सिस्टम, एक प्रोसेस, एक ऑपरेशन फिनोमिना ऐसा बांधना पड़ेगा, ऐसा करना पड़ेगा. वी हैव टू बिल्ड दिस इकोसिस्टम. I'm sorry, in last 10 years of our so-called Hindutwadi government, no such ecosystem has been built. I'm sorry. Work is happening. I'm not saying work is not happening. But instead of doing work in clusters, different clusters, I mean, not united clusters, small clusters, why don't we create a big cluster? Big cluster सिर्फ बीजेपी या मोदी जी को वोट देने के लिए नहीं बनाना चाहिए ना. We have to create big cluster for Hindu Samaj, Hindu society and Hindu warfare as well. हमें हमारा प्रोपोगेंडा, एजेंडा, नैरेटिव करना पड़ेगा. हम क्यों डरते हैं? व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? वी हैव टू डू इट. अर्बन नक्सल इकोसिस्टम मैप. प्रोफेसर्स, एनजीओस, मीडिया, कैंपस फंडिंग्स. टेक्स्ट ओनली फ्लो डायग्राम फॉर योर वीडियो. रूट. Urban Naxal ecosystem, the above ground educated urban support network for CPI Maoist, operates to ideology, propaganda, legal aid, recruitment, logistic. हम ये अर्बन नक्सल देख रहे हैं पूरा. नॉट जंगल फाइटर्स, दे आर द ब्रेन एंड माउथ ना. सो उनका सिस्टम देखो, मैंने वही बताया कि हाउ टेक्निकली, लॉजिकली, एजुकेशनली, सिस्टम वाइज, गवर्नन वाइज, पॉलिसी वाइज, आइडियोलॉजिकली वाइज, हर एक लेवल, जुडिशियल वाइज, हर एक लेवल पे दे आर देयर टू प्रोटेक्ट एंड फाइट फॉर देयर पीपल. हिंदू समाज कहाँ है? दैट इज ओनली क्वेश्चन आई हैव. ओके, लेट्स मूव. Professors, academic networks, ideological manufacturing layer. Professors and academics, university faculty aligned with radical Marxist Maoism. Rewrites narrative, caste type, class state, Hindu identity. Teach India is equal to fascist state. Armed struggle is equal to justified. Create academic papers defending Maoists. Create study circles to filter impressionable youth. Pass bright student NGOs activism group. Act as intellectual shield when Maoists kill security personnel. Second, student campus organization recruitment, youth harvesting layer. So campus groups and student organizations है, मैंने बहुत अभी ये you must be already knowing them. ये पूरा है. इनकी रूटीन एक्टिविटीज क्या है थे? मास प्रोटेस्ट, सिंबलाइजेशन, स्ट्रीट टेटर, इनवाइस माओविस्ट सिंपथाइजर फॉर लेक्चर्स. ये तो होता ही रहते हैं. जेएनयू में बहुत बार देखा है. ये केरला में अभी परसों एक डांस हो रहा था, वहां पे उन्होंने रामायण महाभारत के, दे वर मेकिंग फन ऑफ देम. यहाँ पे लड़कियां बेचते थे, देश टू रेप एंड पेट्रियार्की इन ऑल सॉर्ट. Nothing happens. Hindus don't come on road to fight. Hindus don't come on ideologically to fight. Hindus don't come on to the public to give support. Hindus don't provide money. Hindus सब्सक्राइब भी नहीं करते यार. सब्सक्राइब तो कर लो, देख तो लो, इसमें आपका कोई नुकसान नहीं हो रहा है. Anyways, recruit angry, confused youth, promote evolutionary school, state enemy, identify student with emotional trauma, frustrations, identity crisis, pass, choose ones to NGOs, legal groups. Third, media and culture network, सबसे worst, मैसेज एम्पलीफिकेशन, नैरेटिव वॉरफेयर लेयर, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज उनका मैसेज देखो. ध्रुव टट्टी राठी जो मेरा दोस्त है नया, जो मेरा नया दोस्त, मैंने इस पे एक शॉर्ट भी बनाया, आपका फेवरेट शॉर्ट रहेगा वो मैक भी, तो उस पे जाके देखिए आप। वो कुछ भी लिख दे, वो बात भी दे ट्विटर पे, उसको 2.5 मिलियन व्यूज आ जाते। कहाँ से आ जाते आप ही सोच। मीडिया कल्चर, डिजिटल प्रोपोगेंडा, systematic journalists, columnists, writers, soft corner for Maoist narratives, Maoist killings, highlight police mistakes, articles, development kills tribal, state violence bigger than Maoist, social media micro influencer push anti-state memes, documentary shows Maoist as Robin Hood, बॉलीवुड आइडियोलॉजी सब 1960 2000 सोशलिस्ट स्क्रिप्ट्स। ये तो मैंने पूरा कवर ही कर दिया, इसका जो पूरा बेस ही था वो पूरा कवर कर दिया। NGO activists, right groups, networks. Legal shield plus logistics layers. NGO activists, rights organization, main functions. Legal protection, file petition against anti-Maoist operation. Provide bail to arrested cadre OGWs. Protect top urban Maoist leaders through courts. Propaganda. Publish reports attacking army CRPF. Claim every police counter is fake. Brand Maoist as tribal resistance. Logistics. Send medicine, food, money. पूरा इनका पूरा लिंक है, दे कंप्लीट सेटअप लिंक दे हैव। सो वी हैव टू फाइट विद सच अ स्ट्रांग होल्ड पीपल। सो हमें कुछ ना कुछ तो बहुत अच्छा करना पड़े ऑनेस्टली। Help hide fugitives, maintain communication channel, recruit pathways, student interns, activists, operational OGWs, funding networks, money layer, the bloodstream of under Naxalism, funding streams, foreign funding through foreign NGOs, research grants, human rights organizations, some linked indirectly to Chinese and Western ideological foundations, domestic funding, activities, network donate, academia linked research grants, small business owners aligned with ideology, crowdfunding for human rights works, Maoist Levy channels, critical. Urban OJW, launder money, moist, Maoist Levy money. Wiring money from city jungle via Hawala. I have made a short on Hawala as well, a video and short as well. Please go and check it. It's very important you understand. I have explained it in very simple terms. Fake research and cultural projects. Money claimed as funding for research art theater. Actually used to support Maoist logistics. Operational interface. How urban supporters help jungle Maoists. Direct connection to CPI Maoist guerrilla zones. Urban jungle operational support pipeline. OGWs. Coordinate SIM card procurements. Okay. Legal advice for arrested cadre, sending USB drives, maps, laptops to carry out the actions, medical supplies, wireless equipments, mostly coming from China, safe houses in cities so that they can hide and carry out their fugitive activities, ensure Maoist leadership survives, urban mind plus jungle guns is equal to full insurgency ecosystem. And final output of the urban Naxal ecosystem, what this network ultimately produces is final output converts ordinary angry youth ideology into ideological soldiers, shield jungle Maoists from law informants, manufacture public sympathy for insurgencies। यानी जो माओइस्ट मरता है, जो नक्सलाइट मरता है, जो लोगों को मारता है, उसके लिए ह्यूमन राइट्स है, लेकिन जो मेरा आर्मी सीआरपीएफ सोल्जर्स बेचारा ऑपरेशंस में मर जाते हैं, उनके लिए कोई सिविल राइट नहीं है ना। नॉनसेंस। Weaken trust in Indian State Army CRPF, create intellectual cover fire for armed guerrilla attacks, pushes anti-Indian narratives through academia and media, sustains the insurgency far longer than India's support alone could। Now you can go into this. I have given a lot many details कि कौन से अलग अलग हुए, जैसे मैंने ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन किया है कि it started from 1946 from तेलंगाना armed people struggle until आज तक जितने भी हुए, तो मैंने पूरा कवर किया है। You can definitely go. I have covered lot many details data into this PDF. It's for free. You don't have to do anything. I'll upload it on the description. Just download, read if you are interested. If you have any questions, you can definitely comment on the video so that I know you have some issues and I can create more details regarding it or reply your answers on into the comment. Please like, share, subscribe, and watch the video. It's very important. My channel is a very new channel. आपके सब्सक्रिप्शन से ये चैनल चलेगा। आप अगर सब्सक्राइब नहीं करेंगे तो ये चैनल नहीं होगा। ये जो इनिशिएटिव मैंने लिया है, it won't work, and then I have to stop in the middle. So please make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. You watch the video completely. Comment on the video. Share it with your friends, family, and whomever you know. And we'll meet each other in the next video. Till then, thank you. Bye bye. Take care.